It didn't happen overnight. There was no single announcement, no breaking headline screaming what was really going on. But now, the numbers are impossible to ignore. Quietly, season after season, Pep Guardiola has built something unprecedented at Manchester City. With the signing of Marc Guehi, a line was crossed. A financial, sporting, and philosophical line that forces the football world to stop and ask one uncomfortable question: how far is too far? Before we go any further, if you enjoy deep football stories, controversial debates, and behind-the-scenes numbers that clubs would rather you ignore, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. This story only gets more shocking from here. Guehi is not just another defender arriving at the Etihad. He is the 72nd player signed under Guardiola since 2016. 72. Over 10 seasons. When the final calculations are done, the total investment reaches almost 2 billion euros, which translates to roughly 12 billion Brazilian reais at today's exchange rate. That figure alone places Guardiola in a category of his own, not just as a coach, but as the central figure of the most aggressive squad-building project modern football has ever seen. This season alone, Manchester City have already completed 9 signings for 2025/26, and the list reads like a global shopping spree. Marc Guehi, Antoine Semenyo, Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherki, Svera Nipan, Ryan Ait-Nouri, and 3 goalkeepers: James Trafford, Gianluigi Donnarumma, and Marcus Bettinelli. This is not reinforcement. This is reconstruction. Again. On average, Guardiola signs 7 players per season. No pauses, no rebuilding years, no acceptance of decline, just constant renewal, constant spending, constant pressure. Since January 2025 alone, City have brought in 14 new players, enough to form a complete starting 11 with substitutes. That raises a question fans argue about every week. Is this squad depth or squad excess? Guardiola's transfer legacy includes deals that reshaped the Premier League market itself. In 2021, Manchester City shattered records by paying 117 million euros for Jack Grealish. For years, it stood as the most expensive transfer in English football history. Critics mocked it. Rivals complained. Analysts debated its value endlessly. And yet, that record fell only in June 2025, when Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz for 150 million euros. Even then, the shadow of Guardiola's spending still looms large. The most expensive signings under Pep tell a clear story. Jack Grealish at 117 million euros. Josko Gvardiol at 90 million euros. Omar Marmoush at 75 million euros. Antoine Semenyo at 72 million euros. Ruben Dias at 71 million euros. Rodri at 70 million euros. These are not experiments. These are statements, each one designed to eliminate uncertainty, risk, and competition. Guardiola arrived at Manchester City in July 2016, taking charge of his 3rd professional club. What followed was not a normal managerial cycle. It was a systematic takeover of English football. Tactically, culturally, financially, City did not just win. They dominated. Guardiola became the fastest manager to reach 250 Premier League victories, the most successful coach in the club's history, and the architect of an era defined by control. The trophy count stands at 18 major titles, including the historic treble in the 2022/23 season. For supporters, it's proof of genius. For critics, it's proof of imbalance. And that tension is exactly why Guardiola's City divides opinion like no other team in Europe. Some argue this is simply the cost of excellence. Others say it's a distortion of competition. Is Guardiola a mastermind maximizing available resources, or the face of a system that has turned elite football into an arms race only a few can survive? The truth sits uncomfortably in between. Because while money doesn't guarantee success, Guardiola has turned it into a near certainty. Every weakness is corrected with a signing. Every decline answered with investment. Every rival forced to chase a standard that keeps moving further away. And now, with €2 billion spent, the question is no longer about trophies. It's about legacy. Will Guardiola be remembered as the greatest coach of his generation, or as the symbol of football's financial imbalance? Is this dominance sustainable, or is it building toward a breaking point the sport hasn't faced yet? That debate is far from over. And judging by Manchester City's transfer strategy, it's only just beginning.